Facebook and YouTube, friends and family. How are you guys doing today? I hope that everyone is doing wonderful and swell per usual on this good Monday evening. It is September the 15th, 2025, and it is currently 5:09 p.m. here in Detroit, Michigan. I just got done watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Y'all gotta excuse me, I had to wipe something off my dress right there. I just got done cooking and eating as well. After I made my video earlier, I had just did a little bit of cleaning up or whatever, just cleaning up my stuff or whatnot. And then I sent my girls to the grocery store, and then once they came back, I had started cooking. Now, my bridge card doesn't reload until the 19th, right? So what I said today was the 15th, meaning I have about 4 days, technically 3, until my card reloads. And normally the week before my card reloads, we get a little bit skimpy on food and things like that. Especially since my kids haven't been in school. It's been summer break, but school has started back, and I have yet to send my kids back to school. So, kids are kids. I have big teenagers. My kids, Mally eat a lot. We run through the food. And shoot, when I run out of dog food, I feed my grand dogs the scraps of the things that we don't eat, or leftovers that have been in the refrigerator too long, or, something like that. So it got down to the nitty gritty. I mean, nothing. I need to go to the grocery store ASAP and go shopping. But I'm not really tripping because it's only 3 days to my card reload. I know God gonna make a way out of no way, regardless of the fact, because he always does. And me and the kids, actually we got food left over so they can eat again if they want to. And I still have something to cook in the morning for them until it's time for me to get dinner going tomorrow. Then I only have 2 days left. And just like God makes a way out of no way, he gonna send some more packs of meat up in this bitch. Because I already have sides left over from when I went to Sam's Club the last few times. But now the cupboards, the pantry, the cabinets, the refrigerator, the deep freezer, everything is bare. I really need to go grocery shopping, right? So the only thing I had in the refrigerator today was a bag of collard greens that I didn't cook yet. And they were kind of like in the back of the refrigerator, and the refrigerator is extremely cold, especially since it's not that much stuff in it, right? So the collard greens, they were still good. They were pretty much frozen. I had to clean them and stuff like that so I can get ready to cook them, right? So I got up this morning, I washed the collard greens, and I started cooking the pot of collard greens, right? Then I sent my girls to the grocery store to get some packs of meat, and I made some mashed potatoes and gravy and stuff to go with them. But in the midst of me cooking, something kept on telling me, you need to watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You need to watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I was never a big fan of the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I'm talking about the one that came out, and I think it said 2005, with the Oompa Loompas and the girl who turns into the blueberry, and, the later version, not the old version, but the one with, what is his name? Christopher Duff or something like that. I don't know his name. I'm so sorry. But he has the most perfect teeth, and he had that blunt cut bob or whatever. It was the latest Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I think the 2005. It came out around the time Shrek came out and shit. But anyway, I never been a fan of that. It was always a kind of weird movie to me. But I watched it today, and I have such a better understanding of the movie. And no wonder my ancestors was telling me to go watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So the movie comes on, and they're poor. I mean, they're living in poverty. The house is small, raggedy, overcrowded, and falling apart. Because Charlie and his family, which consists of his parents, his grandparents, both of them from his mom's side, and both of them from his dad's side. So he had his parents as well as both sets of grandparents. But they were poor. And they were in poverty, and they had no food to eat. So every day the mom would get up and she would cook cabbage soup, which reminded me of today, damn, I don't got shit to cook. What I'm about to cook for my kids? Well, I'm going to start off by cooking this bag of collard greens. or whatever. So I'm cutting up the stuff to put in there and season them and dropping in my chicken flavoring or whatever. And it just reminded me of her making the cabbage soup and them being so poor. And then Charlie's dad, what the fuck is going on?
They was trying to eat your hair.
Go sit the fuck down. Dogs and kids too. Thank you for grabbing my tracks. So anywho, Charlie's dad worked at a toothpaste factory where he would just put the tops on the toothpaste as the machines processed it or whatever. Well, Charlie's grandfather, his dad's dad, used to work at the chocolate factory. Okay? So, you know, they ended up getting laid off from the chocolate factory. Willy Wonka had this big, huge chocolate factory that was very successful. He was very creative with making the candy as well as the chocolate. He was very successful, that he had numerous of employers that worked for him in his chocolate factory. Well, once his business got to booming and he became, let's say, viral, and everybody knew about him and everybody was buying his candy, well, his own workers that he employed started getting jealous of him. And it reminds me of the MILF market. Not that I had employed anyone, but it's just that how you can work so hard to build your name, build your brand, and people will get jealous of you that they will try anything to sabotage that. So running the chocolate factory, Willy Wonka started having his own people turn on him. They were paid by spies to steal all of his recipes and give them to them. So his own workers started turning on him. One of the workers happened to take the bribe or whatever, and he stole the recipes of Willy Wonka's and he paid it and he gave it to the spies who paid him. And then all of the candy stores started copying his recipes. They started making all the candies that he was making to the point that it kind of put him out of business. So he had to lay off all the workers of the chocolate factory and he closed it down and went into isolation. He was the only one in the chocolate factory. Nobody knew what was going to happen, right? So one day he decides that he's going to get up and give away 5 golden tickets to get into the chocolate factory. Now I'm going to pause there. He had his own people steal his recipes. And it reminds me of a few of my friends because I told y'all they had people putting hidden cameras and stuff in any house that I moved into. But I had this one person or a group of people who kept asking how would I make my dressing, which my grandma passed the recipe down to me, as well as the rest of my cousins and shit. It's like our family tradition or whatever. And a lot of people make their dressing different, but it was just a certain way that my grandmother makes hers. So when I started selling food, when I came up with the MILF market, I would make pans of dressing and everybody be like, what you put in this dressing? What you put in this dressing? I'd be like, that's my secret recipe or whatever. Well, one of my guy friends kept on coming over to my house and it was being weird watching everything I do and shit and watching me on camera. And he used to be saying like, oh yeah, because one of my cousins, they put the Bob Evans sausage in her dressing, which I put the Bob Evans sausage in my dressing unless you don't eat pork. So I knew that he was watching me. You know, people would be so arrogant to let you know what they're doing, right? So I knew that he was watching me, as well as some of my friends. Like I would move into one house, move into another house, and I could just tell by the things that people say that they watch me 24/7 like I'm on Candy Cam or something. Watching how I cook my food and shit. I told you, if you ever want to know if there's cameras in your house, do something that you don't normally do and then see if it get back to you. For instance, I don't smoke cigarettes. But anytime I want to know if it's a camera in my house or my car, I go and I smoke a cigarette. And guess what? Somebody always come around and be like, you smoke cigarettes? Oh, because somebody told me you smoke cigarettes. Nobody told you that I smoked cigarettes. You was watching me with the cameras that was in my house and in my car. And that's how you know that I smoked a cigarette. I don't smoke cigarettes. I smoked a cigarette to see if it would get back to me that I smoked a cigarette. And sure enough, it did. If you want to know if there's cameras in your house, go somewhere and masturbate. Play with yourself. I bet you it'll get back to you. These are the things I started doing just so I can see if there were cameras in my house. And there were. And you know why? Because people could tell me, they could tell me what I was doing in the privacy of my own home. Then I started seeing them make reels about everything I do. Every fucking thing I do, a reel gonna pop up on Facebook. So that's how I started to realize, like, damn, they watching everything I do, like the Truman Show. Sometimes I put on the show, sometimes I don't. 99.9% of the time, really 100% of the time, I'm being my true, authentic self. It's just sometimes I'm going to give you motherfuckers a show since you want to watch me so much. You get what I'm saying? So there were people stealing Willy Wonka's recipes till he put him out of business. Just like it was people trying to figure out how I cook certain foods so that they can lie and furthermore put me out of business or get rid of the competition. So there's a reason that my ancestors wanted me to watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Now let's continue. Willy Wonka, after he's been put into isolation after everybody had betrayed him and sold his recipes, he closed down his chocolate factory. And then he went into isolation. Then he went on to hire Oompa Loompas, which were foreigners. We're going to say like the Mexicans. How a lot of black people, white people and stuff, they like to hire Mexicans to come over and do the work for dirt cheap. So basically he hired the Oompa Loompas to come and run the chocolate factory, right? And they were very successful at doing the things that he wanted them to do. Okay? So he realized while he was making candy now that the candy, it would taste good, but there would be side effects to eating his candy, right? So he realized, like, maybe I need some help now. He sent out 5 golden tickets that would reach 5 children, right? So when he sent it out, he got 5 nominees per se. And they all knew that they were going to be invited to this chocolate factory. And one child at the end of the day would win a prize, but they didn't know what it was. Because Willy Wonka said the best type of prize is a surprise, right? So they have these 5 different children. 4 of them are rich. Only Charlie is poor. 4 of them, they're well educated. They have everything you could think of. Everything kids want. They have their parents. They have lots of money. They have all the toys, all the education that they can get, all the friends, everything. Except Charlie. He's the only kid that's poor. He don't have nothing but his family. His family's house is raggedy. It's small. It's falling apart. They don't even have $1 to their name. And they're eating cabbage all day, every day. So Willy Wonka said, oh, well, you just happy to be here, huh? And yes, he was. He was the only child that had got the golden ticket, and he was very appreciative of having the opportunity to go to the chocolate factory. While all the other kids had their minds set on the prize and they knew for a fact that they were going to be the winner, he was the only one who remained humble and took the tour through the factory like he was supposed to. He was the only one that followed all the rules. He was the only one that asked questions that weren't being sarcastic. He really genuinely wanted to know. He was the only one that really appreciated the tour and the opportunity to get to meet Willy Wonka, right? So the other 4 kids, they ended up being, what word do I want to use? I don't know. The other 4 kids, they ended up putting themselves out the game, basically, because they wouldn't listen. They thought they knew everything. They were arrogant. They were spoiled. They were bratty. They were never used to anyone telling them no. They got everything that they wanted anytime that they wanted it. So it was easy for them to get themselves put out the game. And then in the end, they're like, oh, there's only one child left, Charlie. And Willy Wonka says, you're right. You're the only child that's left. Okay, that means you've won. And he said, well, what do I win? And Willy Wonka wanted to give away his chocolate factory. His big, huge factory that he spent so much time perfecting, that made him so much money, where all his ideas came alive. He wanted to give that to somebody. He wanted to find an heir to all his riches and his wealth. And he said he knew that Charlie would win. He was the only one that was grateful, the only one that was humble, and he was poor, but he had so much love and respect in his heart. And that's who Willy Wonka wanted to give his factory to. The boy who was most humble. He said he gave it to the boy who was less rotten, meaning the least spoiled out of the children. But really, he was the most grateful. So, at the end of it all, Willy Wonka says, okay, Charlie, well, the prize is my factory, which can be very successful. And Charlie was excited. But Willy Wonka said, the only thing is you can't bring your family with you. So he had the choice to sacrifice his family, which would be his mother, his father, both grandparents from his mother's side, and both grandparents from his father's side. He could sacrifice the family, being broke, being poor, and being in poverty and all of that, to go and become a rich, wealthy young boy with Willy Wonka and own the whole chocolate factory. But you know what Charlie said? He said, no. If my family can't come with me, then I turned down the offer. And he did. So Willy Wonka like, what the fuck? I just was walking through y'all house. It ain't shit up in that bitch to eat. It ain't nothing in here but a cabbage. Which was like my house this morning. If you had walked in here today, you would have been like, it ain't shit in here but a bag of greens. What the fuck y'all gonna eat? But because Charlie kept the faith that he had, never being a traitor, never selling his soul, never turning his back on his family, he won the chocolate factory still. Because when Willy Wonka said, why would you turn down the chocolate factory to stay in poverty? He said, because they're my family and I love them. Right? Sometimes you have to choose the things that you know and believe in. He knew he didn't want to sacrifice his family. Even though he would have been able to leave behind everything. All the bad days, all the poverty, being picked on, and living in the slums and not having nothing to having everything. But he said, I'm not taking it without my family. Bringing me to the Bible, what is a man to gain the world if he loses his soul? So Willy Wonka started thinking about that. And he like, well, damn, maybe that's the problem then. Like, maybe I'm so well off and I've been so successful, but I never had family. He didn't like his dad because his dad told him that he couldn't eat candy. So he despised his dad and grew up and built a whole chocolate factory. But it took for him to meet Charlie, a young boy who was the opposite of him, who grew up in poverty, to say, hey, no, you need genuine love. Like, you can have all the money in the world. You could be very successful in business and everything. But what does that mean if you don't have true love? Meaning in a family or a spouse or child, something other than being by yourself. Right? Right. So, Willy Wonka and Charlie said, well, come on, well, let's go see your dad. Since you don't like him, you don't like to talk about him, you can't even say the word parents, let's go see your dad. Which Willy Wonka's dad was a dentist, which is the reason that he didn't want his son eating so much candy, because he knew the harm that candy could do to the teeth. So Charlie convinced Willy Wonka to go and see his dad. And when he went to see his dad, you know, they said it was long overdue. Another reason that my ancestors wanted me to watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because I keep talking about going to get my teeth cleaned so that I can get my braces put back on to bridge the gap and clean it just for hygiene reasons and everything like that. And the first thing they said, the dentist didn't even recognize his son, Willy Wonka. He said, do you have an appointment? Charlie said, no, but he's long overdue. Because I'm long overdue for my dentist appointment. But I'm long overdue for genuine love, too. Anyway, Willy Wonka goes in and he goes as a patient. And his father is examining his teeth. And he says, I haven't seen teeth like this since Willy? Like, Willy, is that you? He like, yes, hi, Dad, or whatever. And then they built their relationship back. So Willy Wonka was happy to build a relationship and reconcile with his father. He was happy that he met Charlie, who was poor and in poverty. But seeing Charlie and the love that he had for his mother and his father and his grandparents convinced Willy Wonka, like, well, hey, maybe that's it. I got all the money and everything I can ever dream of, but I don't have love. And that's why my business is going down now. Because I feel bad and it's reflected on everybody around me. He's like, I feel bad, so the candy that I'm making is bad, which is true. Just like I say, we are products of our environment. If you in a fucked up ass, raggedy ass neighborhood that's depressing and shit, you fall into that. So you have to fight your way out. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, Willy Wonka, the rich, successful candy man, he wanted to give all of his money and stuff, his chocolate factory, to the poorest person that he met. Because that was the most grateful person that he had ever met. Someone who was so genuine and they lived by love and not money. And in the movie, the boy, when he got the golden ticket, because he found the last golden ticket, and everybody was trying to buy it for him. Hey, I'll give you $50 for that. Are you crazy? I'll give him $500 for that. Which was making him rich back then in that day and time. And in the situation that he was in, they only had a quarter to their name. They were in poverty, eating cabbage every day. He said, Mom, I don't think I'm going to go to the chocolate factory. I think I'm going to sell the ticket. A lady at the store offered me $500 for the ticket. And we need the money. We need food. We need our house more than I need to go to the chocolate factory for a day. And his granddad said, are you crazy? Money comes and goes. They print money on the machine. But this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You'll never get this chance again. We'll be okay. We struggled all this time. We can struggle a few more days while you go and you enjoy yourself. And come back and tell us all about it. Because we never had the opportunity. Another thing about love. His family loved him so much that they were understanding to the fact that, no, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Go ahead. You doing that is going to bring us back joy just by hearing your story. Opposed to us hearing the same thing every day. And still not getting no money or anything like that due to the situation. So his granddad said, are you a dummy? Or are you going to go to the chocolate factory? He said he's not a dummy. So he went to the chocolate factory. And in the midst of that one day, he was able to convince somebody unknowingly that he should be the winner. Because he's genuine. And everything he do it genuinely, naturally, and based off of love. And that's why he won the prize at the end. The whole chocolate factory. On top of being able to bring his family along. So not only did he change his life, he changed the life of his family as well. All because he was loyal. All because he was genuine. And at the beginning of the movie, they said that Charlie was the luckiest boy. He just didn't know it yet. He had to go through so much as a little kid in poverty, playing with toothpaste tops to make toys. And it just reminds me of my baby. Because he only got a few toys left after us having to move and shit like that. And the ones he got left, he done broke, or the dogs done broke him up. But my baby's still so humble and appreciative that he play with them little broken toys. But you see, there's gifts in being humble. There's gifts in being appreciative. And there's gifts in doing shit genuinely. And that's why I'm hearing like, you're the heir, Isleah. The whole purpose of Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory was for Willy Wonka to find an heir. Somebody he wanted to leave all his money and all his blessings to. I'm hearing, Isleah, your ancestors wanted you to watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory because you are the heir. You have large gifts and large amounts of money that belong to you, and you're about to receive them. One, because you proved that you are deserving. I'm also hearing you have touched a rich man's heart, a wealthy person's heart. And I'm hearing like Elon Musk. And when I was watching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka was reminding me of Elon Musk for some reason. And that's crazy to me. But at the end of Willy Wonka, like, he got in the glass elevator, and it reminds me of the rocket shooting up. So Willy Wonka and Elon Musk or whatever. But my ancestors are telling me not only are you the heir, you have gained the respect and the love of one of the richest men on earth, is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing they want to give you something. They want to donate to you because they've been watching you and your family and how y'all survive in poverty and how somebody with no money, not even nothing but a quarter, can still be so full of love, have so many wonderful ideas, and be just as strong as they can possibly be. I'm hearing a wealthy, rich man has been watching you, and they're going to give you a large donation so that you can change the life of you and your family. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing, and it's like this man, just like Willy Wonka gave away 5 golden tickets, this rich man, let's say it is Elon Musk. Let's say he just sent out some letters, or not, him and Mark Zuck. And they started watching people on their platforms. Like, let's test them. Let's say the 5 golden tickets were 5 hard tests, trials, and tribulations. And they threw these tests out there into the world just to see who would survive, who would keep a genuine heart through it all, who would not trade on their people through hard times. And I'm hearing they've watched this. And now it got down to the final person. The last one. I'm hearing I'm a soul survivor. Well, if you're looking for me, I'll be on the block. Anyway, I can't get into that because I'm a survivor. Yeah, I'm just a soul survivor. So that's what I'm hearing right now. Elon Musk and Mark Zuck. It's like they threw out this massive test to the world, and they decided to sit back and watch people on their social media accounts, and they found the winner. And I'm hearing, Isleah, you're the winner. They've been watching you through blood, sweat, and tears for the last 5 years, like the golden tickets. For the last 5 years, they've been watching you. And they fell in love with who you are and how you think in the midst of hard times. And they see that you live such a hard life that they want to sponsor you. They don't want you to live a hard life anymore. They find you to be very deserving. So it's something like that going on. It was a competition of some sort. A game being played that nobody even knew about. But I'm hearing, I'm the soul survivor. And I'm hearing you about to get bags. On bags, on bags, on bags, on top of bags, on top of bags of money. So that you can do exactly what you need to do. Because this person has watched you for so long that they know you're going to do the right thing. That's what I'm hearing. That's why my ancestors wanted me to watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. From rags to riches. From poverty since a young kid, but having the mindset of an adult. By just giving nothing but genuine love. Even on the days where I didn't know where my next meal was coming from. Days I was crying because I didn't know how to feed the kids. And all of that. I'm hearing it's over. You're just a soul survivor. And if you're looking for me, I'll be on the block. And that's the thing. They're looking for me. And you find God in the hood, the trenches, and the projects. I'm hearing you about to get a special delivery. Straight to your doorstep. Because they found you. I'm also hearing, I found you, Miss New Booty. Get it together and bring it back to me. Hit the Players Club for about a month or 2. Then see what it do. And that's so funny because I was talking about going to the dentist and working out and shit. Because I don't believe in going to get BBLs and liposuction and shit like that. I really just want to go work out. But I don't have a car, and I don't really like walking for real in this neighborhood, and I can't get to like the Riverwalk and the tracks and stuff like I like to. So I'm starting to get a little bit pudgy or whatever. And I'm hearing like, I found you, Miss New Booty. Get it together and bring it back to me. Like your whole life is about to change. You're about to be able to do everything you want to do. And them little flaws that people be talking about, you about to get that shit without having to go get plastic surgery and shit. You about to get bags on money without having to sell your soul and shit. I'm hearing it's good to be a genuine ass person and to do things with good intentions. And that's how Charlie won the chocolate factory. And that's how Isleah is about to win Monopoly. I get it now. The game of life. The test of all times. Loyalty. Loyalty. Charlie refused to leave his family. So guess what? He ended up being able to feed my whole team. We ain't going on no fasting here. They went from eating nothing to setting the dinner table. And guess who was the guest? Willy Wonka. One of the richest people. I'm hearing, Isleah, you about to sit at tables that you never thought you would even be good enough to sit at. And you about to be the head of that bitch. And I'm hearing Puppy Love by Bow Wow for some reason. I'm hearing rock on, baby, rock on, rock on. See you and me. Girl, I just be playing with you. Or whatever. See, it's just puppy love. Bark on, baby, bark on, bark on. It's somebody got puppy love. This rich ass wealthy man who's been watching me for 5 years has fallen in love with me or something. I'm hearing I can make you a celebrity overnight. That's what I'm hearing. So that's what I'm getting. Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. Isleah Williams in the MILF market. See? All of my manifestations are coming into play. I'ma feed my whole team. We ain't going on no fasting here. Yep. Yeah. That's it. That's it. I'm about to win something. A mansion. All of that. Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. Isleah Williams in the MILF market. That's what my ancestors wanted me to see, wanted me to know, want me to prepare for. Life-changing events, massive loads of money. And I'm hearing, remain humble. I'm hearing you about to be so fucking rich, humble shouldn't even be in your vocabulary, but you better remain humble. And I am, because I remember the days of struggling, the days of poverty, where I came from. I remember watching my mama and my grandma cry about how to feed me and my brother. So, forever humble I will be. The poor girl, about to be rich as fuck. I'm hearing Cinderella, Cinderella, me. But I've been saying it for how many years? The last 5. That I'm the real Detroit Cinderella. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. But Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. Isleah Williams in the MILF market. But y'all have a good day. I'm about to relax now. I don't know. I had cleaned up, I got myself all cleaned up and stuff earlier. The only thing I didn't do is my hair. But I still got like my braids and shit all up in here. And my part that was left out, I just like put 3 big braids right there. Or whatever. But I still got all my braids in the back from where I sewed the weave in and shit like that. So I really ain't in a rush to do anything to it. Because I'm not going anywhere or anything like that. But I'm hearing Saturday is going to be a big day for someone. And I said that in my video earlier. So something is going on Saturday. I'm not even sure what Saturday's date is. What is today? Monday, the 15th. Monday. So that means that Saturday is 5 days away. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And if it's the 15th, then that brings it to the 20th. So September 20th. That's going to be a big day for someone. I'm also seeing 922, which I think that's my Uncle Maurice's birthday. Rest in peace, Uncle Maurice. But, yeah, something big is going on Saturday. I'm hearing Missy Elliott, like, get your hair done and your nails did. Boys, all types of boys. Black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese boys. One time, do your thing. One time, do your thing. Girls, get that cash. Just make sure it's worth shaking your ass. So, I don't know. Somebody is about to get something. Like, they're going to be invited to a party or something on Saturday. I'm here, get your hair done, get your nails did. Because it's that time. Like, it's a celebration or something taking place. I don't know. Anyway, that's the message. I'll talk to you guys later. I love y'all. Stay safe in the Detroit streets.